Papa, Papa,
Here's Williams ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And this carries into the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now the first carry for Giovanni Brown. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Brings up second from the shotgun. Joe Burrow throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 10 yards there on Bengals first. On first and 10, Joe Burrow. Throwing the ball, it's complete. The result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves it with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards on the pickup. He brings up second and 2 at the 50-yard line.
Our first carry here for Jared Dixon, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
We always talk about cut down in distance, allowing offenses to expand their play more on second and 2. And then they can throw both wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times the play call.
And he's going to be slowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Brings up third down and 17.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourself. Let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
They would pop over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, first and 10 at the 33-yard line. He breaks through another tackle and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Now run, this is Kamara. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver from that run. Let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
12. First down, Saints.
Brees leaves this one with Kamara. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a second and 3.
He was brought down by Mackenzie.
With Kamara. Calling a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about 42. There's Kamara trying to run for it. Busting free at the 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the... They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to pull their necks up.
Look at this from the offense's point of view. That's a big-time pickup right there. And get right out of it. Go quickly and a tackle. Because right now, they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
Another shot for from the 1 and 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Punching it in from a yard away. As his guys on first on the scoreboard here this afternoon. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. The drive starts with a handoff to Ron. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up
Burrow throw. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to the first down as he runs into a right around the line of scrimmage. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over the first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Breeze on the draw, gets to Kamara.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Well, wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 67 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
There's not much that's perfect in football. Close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try to get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Taking about 7 yards and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they got to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down and change our momentum?
24-yard line. Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead is 12 to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Again, what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all of these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to really let it force everything either.
Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's third down.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And what a return as he brings us all the way back to the 25-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside of highlights and analysis from Orlando. This first half of action. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's second down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints add on to their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
That's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here to the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute. I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? Well, how much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's third and short. Burrow looking to pass. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Burrow's back.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you get after your running back, and it can turn into a big game downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short game.
It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still need to revert down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we got, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On the ground, this is Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now Kamara. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. 3 yards on the way. Run it again with Kamara. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 39. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again.
They certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And the Saints are going to have a first and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And the Saints are going to have a first and goal. There's some good running there. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knocking on the door. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And this offense continues to pour it on. And he's certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Taking it in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And Alberto going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in for second half blowout material. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a first and goal. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And the Saints are going to be set up with a first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Back now in Cincinnati. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. And this is a blowout so far as we get set. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 1-yard touchdown run from Alvin Kamara. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Now left side on the swing pass. And from the 25, they work to the 29, a gain of 4. The Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard and firing the ball downfield.
A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And right side, they're going to go option here. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bengals 33. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Again, it's Kamara. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Here's Kamara off the draw. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
1st and goal, New Orleans.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball,
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. P.J. Williams with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
it certainly can't.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. And boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Well, Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way to put that.
Burrow loses the football. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. One of them going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just added their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach are adding 4th phase. That's the coaching. They'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bengals drive about to get going. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be recovery.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Slant pass to Boyd. Burrow, 8 yards into completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 10.
A final shot now for Burrow. On the screen, Bernard. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive.